Hello YouTube, this is Billy. Today I'll be doing an oil change on this 2003 Honda Shadow Spirit. Okay, the first thing I did was to get this bike to where it's a little easier to get under there and do everything. I got a floor jack and I actually jacked it up underneath here. Right here, I put the floor jack and raised up, and once I got it up enough to where I was able to get my little stand, I got my little stand right under here, like that, my little jack stand holding it there. And then on the other side of the bike, just a little bit behind the kickstand, raise up on my little floor jack, and I've got the back tire up a little bit in the air, and this gap right here, see, this gap right here is really tight, and your drain plug's down here. So in relations to the side of the motor, there's your kickstand, here's the side of the motor there, your foot peg right down here. Even with it up a little bit, it's still pretty tight, but so this hose right here that's coming to the radiator, okay, I'm gonna put my finger on the drain plug right here. Here's your drain plug. So we'll get this drain plug loose, and with the drain pan underneath it, we'll get the oil drained out. 11/16 wrench to get that drain plug loosened up and get that oil drained out. Okay, well, I got the drain plug out, and while that's finishing dripping, as soon as it gets done dripping and all the oil is drained, then I'll just get this little oil plug put back in. And you want to be careful that you don't over tighten your oil plug. You want to go just, when it gets snug, go just a hair more. You do not want to over tighten your oil plug because it causes some expensive repairs. In any event, just be careful that you do not over tighten your oil plug when you put it back in. When it starts feeling like it's getting tight, go just a hair more, just a little bit. Do not over tighten your oil plug. Okay, well, while I'm waiting on that to finish dripping. Okay, so using my little homemade oil pan, I use another empty container, and where it's got that little window there on the side. And you know, when you do all this, you want to make sure that you don't see any kind of like a washer that was on the plug that fell into the oil pan. Want to look good for that, because if you had a washer on there, you're going to want to make sure you put that back on so that you don't have a leak. In my case, I did not. I've already got my little drain plug back in. I just have not tightened it down yet because I wanted to confirm that I don't see a washer in my oil pan here or in my little funnel. And what's nice about pouring it back into one of these kind of containers is I can see exactly how much came out, and it looks like in between 2 and 3 quarts is how much came out. So now we'll get the oil filter. The oil filter, it is right back here. There's the oil filter right there. So it's just getting a good hold of it, or putting a tool on it and getting, you know, lefty loosey to take this off, or just spin this off, and we'll have a drain pan to catch the oil that's going to spill out when we get this off. Okay, I've already removed it, obviously. They were just sitting there on the floor. I just used a pair of channel locks and opened them up as far as they would open. And on the back end, not this end, obviously, because this end was obviously attached to the motor, but just for been able to show you how I grabbed it. I just grabbed it like this and then squeezed nice and hard and then cracked it counterclockwise with the crescent wrench. And then I was able to just spin it off by hand. Obviously, I'm not flipping it over right now just so that I don't spill oil here in the garage floor. But that's how I got that to break loose. I was actually just being lazy because I actually have the correct tools. But so now the oil is dripping dry here, or dripping, coming to. I'll take a paper towel and I'll wipe this up a little bit. And you always want to make sure your gasket came off with the oil filter. And what I mean is right here on the surface here, right here on the edge, right here, directly under my finger there, there's a little black rubber surface that goes all the way around. And you always want to make sure it's still on the old oil filter. And it's totally there. Oh goodness. It's there on my old oil filter, so I know it's not stuck to my motor. Because what happens is if you ever get one stuck to the motor, when you put the new one on, then you've got two instead of just one, and then it will not hold oil when it's got two instead of one. So in any event, just confirm that your old little rubber did not stick to your motor. But now I'm gonna just kind of wipe that up and go ahead and get the new filter put into place. The part number that I'm going with is a PH6017A. That's the oil filter part number that I'm going back with. Again, that part number on this oil filter, PH6017A, is the one that I'm going with. And so now what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of oil on that rubber that we talked about. Now that this one's nice and clean, brand new, you can see the rubber ring that I was talking about. It's more easy to see. Like right there, the rubber ring has color on it. So it's got red and green and blue on the edge of that little rubber ring. So to help prevent it from sticking to the motor, just take some oil. You don't have to do just a little bit. Put some, I'm using some of the old oil. It doesn't matter, just as long as it gets some oil. I'm smearing some of that oil on that rubber ring. That way it'll help prevent it from just getting cooked to the side of the motor. Anyways, so now some people prefer to put some oil in here before you put it on. Some people don't. I'm one of those that don't. In any event, I'm going to go ahead and get this screwed on, and when I put this on, I'm just going to go, when it feels like it's getting tight, I'm going to go a hair more and call it good. Same thing with your oil filter. You're not going to want to get it on crazy tight, you know. Once it's feeling tight, go a hair more and call it good. So in any event, I'm going to go ahead and get this oil filter screwed on. Okay, I've snugged the new oil filter down. That's nice and snugged up and good. And then the drain plug, I did put the wrench on it and get that snug and nice and tightened up good where it's not over tightened. Anyways, so now we're ready to get some oil in it. And again, because the we know it's in between 2 and 3 quarts is how much came out of it. So right here, I'll get this. We'll take this out and set it to the side. I'll go ahead and wipe that off too while I'm at it. Get me a funnel in here, and I'll start putting the oil, the new oil in. And so around 2.5 quarts of what I'm going in with is the 10W40. And of course, you want to drive the bike a little bit, check your oil, and after you've done that a couple times, then you know you've got a good, safe oil level. And in any event, well, for anybody this video may help, well, good luck out there. Bye.